Jason Momoa!
Hi, mates. Thanks for having me. I love you, Australia. And New Zealand. If there is any All Blacks fans out here.
Oh my God, where the question guy go? Okay, so we have our first question just over here. Stand up for me.
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little shy right now. Thanks for coming out.
Does he know? Hi, Jason. This is a Game of Thrones related question. How long did it take you to learn how to speak Dothraki?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How long did it take you to learn the language of the Dothraki?
You know, it's better to describe it as probably about 2 kegs of beer and about, I don't know, maybe 15 pizzas. That's about how long it took to learn it. It was, I'll tell you a good story. When I first showed up to the cast reading, there was like obviously 50 cast members. We showed up in Belfast, we had the read through, and obviously my character doesn't say anything in the first episode, so I kind of sat there like an idiot. But the writers came up to me and they're like, we have this great idea, we're gonna develop this language for you because we think it's kind of silly that all the Dothraki will learn how to speak English instead of just one girl learning how to speak Dothraki. I'm like, well, that's absolutely a great idea. So, you know, I'm like, oh, well, let me see the language. And I'm not very good at speaking English. So they showed it to me and they said it was half Arabic, half German, kind of. And I said, all right. And then they played it for me and I was just like, they already hired me, so I was like, oh yeah, I got this. And then I went home and like I said, drank and ate pizza and locked myself up for like a solid month. Like they had me over there for, since there's only 2 Americans on the show, they, once they flew us over there, you're gonna stay there. So I was there for like 7 months. So I had a good chunk of time to learn that big speech and stuff, so.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
I was just interested, where's the best place that you've gone surfing in the world and whether you're interested in going surfing somewhere in Australia?
I've surfed in Australia. I used to live down in Adelaide, or outside of Adelaide. Australia, South Australia. It's proper ochre down there. I used to live in a town called Gola. Yeah. In Lindok. And so I have surfed here and fished, and I worked on the Gold Coast, so I surfed up there too, but my favorite place in the world is my home, Hawaii. So the west side of Oahu is probably it's my home beach, and then Makaha, and then Hanalei Bay, probably Kauai is my favorite.
Hi, I was just wondering what it was like to work with the cast from...
Shut up over there! I'm sorry, sweetheart.
What was it like to work with the cast from A Game of Thrones and in that kind of setting, and what you did to get the part?
It's so hard to hear, like the reverb, I don't know. Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it's probably one of the greatest things I've ever... it is the greatest thing I've ever been on as far as like writing and story. And it was really cool because the first season, a lot of the cast members were telling me this season that it was a lot better because we were all together. And, you know, like I hung out with Alfie and Kit and Peter, and I mean, we all were really tight. And then I guess the second season they really mastered it and they kind of broke everyone apart. So they didn't get it, they didn't really overlap that much. So I was really lucky to be and fortunate to be a part of the first season.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, how much of a challenge was it with the role in Game of Thrones? Because you had so few words, so few lines, and you had to build a character purely just on the way you acted it instead of the way the lines went. How much of a challenge was that for you?
That's one of the things that's really hard. Like, everyone makes fun of me because I don't normally say a lot, but it's really hard not saying stuff and then having to say everything. So I've said this a million times, but like playing a king was my first time playing a king. Like my wife, I'm not even the king in my own house. So it's very hard to sit there and just command that presence and not say a word. So yeah, that was extremely challenging. And then, yeah, I'm going to be quiet and try to speak.
Hi Jason, welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you.
As a big fan, I really like Stargate Atlantis, and I always thought those tattoos were part of the Ronin character on your left arm there. Can you tell us a little about them?
Tell you what the tattoo's about?
Yeah, so they're not actually Wraith kills.
No, they're not actually wraith marks, no. All my cousins on my Hawaiian side, we all have these tats. It's kind of like a family crest, and it's the shark. They call it an amakua, which is a guardian, and so it's the shark teeth, and like the triangle symbolizes strength because you cannot break it. And then you put it on your left hand because it's how we shake hands, and then we put our noses to each other's nose and breathe each other's breath. It's a whole kind of like ritual, and it's to take the darkness out of your heart and bring the light in. That's the way the arrows face. I'm trying to make myself better, get the darkness out. I don't know.
Hi Jason, I'm a big fan of all your work, especially the Conan
Where
stuff.
are you?
Over here.
That doesn't help me.
Oh, look over here.
Over here, flash, flash, flash. There you are.
Hi. Will you be doing more Conan movies? Please say
I
yes.
wish we were. We're not.
Come on, don't tease us.
because no one watched it.
Oh, bull.
So, yeah, thanks everyone. It's great. I have like Stargate fans come up. They're like, I love you on Stargate. I'm going to see Conan someday. I'm like, thanks for helping. Thanks. Your support does me nothing now. Is a Stargate movie going to come out? I'm like, no.
Over here, Jason. Mm-hmm. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
I've actually got two questions. First one is, who do you think would win between Conan and Khal Drogo?
What, you don't think Ronan can kick some ass up in that?
Nah.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you.
doing it.
Here's what would happen. And if they all had their weapons, it's basically like locking up a lion and a silverback gorilla. That being Drogo, Conan being the lion, and then in walks Ronan with his gun and just shoots people. That's what would really happen.
All right, my second question is, any chance for the haka?
You know I can't do the haka. You know I can't do the haka. It's.
Yeah, you have to prove it. Real New Zealand style.
Real New Zealand style, I can't. It's very sacred, and I'll tell you why it's really sacred to me. Aside from why it's sacred, it's a sacred dance, and not that this isn't sacred right now, but if I did it, I'd have to kill everyone in the room because I'd be very angry. But it's. I wish you could see it, but I can't. I'm sorry.
Hi, I was just wondering, did you have any reservations about taking on the role of Conan after Arnold Schwarzenegger had already made it so iconic?
No. I gotta tell you the truth. I mean, Arnold is Arnold. You can't ever, there's no way I could ever be anything like him, and nor could he be anything like me. And I knew at the time, and don't hate me, but I never had seen Conan before I shot the movie. I was raised with a single mother, so we weren't watching orgies and people getting their heads chopped off at 2 when it came out. So I didn't see it, and then I took the choices that I wanted to give my representation of the character first and then watch the movie. And they're two totally different movies and two totally different Conans, you know. I was a huge Frank Frazetta fan growing up and in the comic books, and so that's what I based all my research off of. So.
Right here. How come you're so damn hot? And can I have a hug?
Oh, Mitch. You make me blush, you bastard. Mitch Pileggi, everyone. Woo! I love that guy.
Hi, Jason. Over here.
Hi.
Hi. I was just wondering what awareness you had of the series before you signed on to do Game of Thrones. So did you have an awareness of the world and the books before you came across the part?
It's so hard here. No, I wasn't aware of them. I actually, it was a weird audition. I always wanted to be on HBO. One of my best friends was on True Blood, and I always wanted to be on HBO, and right when I finished Stargate, there's an audition that came through, and I was like, sure, I'll take it, whatever. I just want to go in there and try to be on something. And I couldn't tell what the hell it was, because they gave me the sides to the book, and then you, like, out of context, read Drogo's lines. It's kind of, you don't know what's going on. So I went and got the book, and I was hooked. Like, I was totally hooked, and I spent about a week reading the book, and big fan, until he killed me, and then I was like, go fuck yourself. So I haven't even watched the second season. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
Hi, Jason.
Hi.
I was wondering, you're really well known for your long dreads, and I'm wondering how long it took you to take them out, and do you shampoo and conditioner?
What was the last part?
Do you shampoo and condition your hair, your beautiful hair?
Yes, I washed my hair. I did back then too. But you know what's funny? After an All Blacks game, when France beat us in the World Cup, like 5 years ago, right after the game, I shaved my dreadlocks. I was so sad. That's how big of an All Blacks fan I am. And I've been through 2 huge losses. And the time before that, I was here. I was in Adelaide, and I was all painted up in Maori tats. And we lost, and I couldn't take it. It's brutal. So that's why I'm rubbing it in everyone's faces now.
Hi.
Hi.
I was wondering, are you satisfied with the ending of Stargate Atlantis?
Oh, God, no.
Neither am I.
It was horrible. And I apologize. It's not my fault, but I'll apologize for the writers. But no, it was a bit of a chip. And yeah, I was bummed. I would have liked it to go one more season.
Hello, Jason.
Hey, bud, you don't have to stand up. I can see you fine.
Well, they ordered me to,
Okay.
so. Hope you're enjoying your trip. I wanted to know, I was wondering if you could tell us about any actors and directors you haven't worked with before that you would love to work with in the future.
Actors I would love to work with? I mean, there's a huge list of actors I'd love to work with. Some of my favorites, like Jack Nicholson's amazing. Daniel Day-Lewis, Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's just Meryl Streep. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but a boy can dream.
Hey, Jason. In terms of the character of Khal Drogo, you were obviously quite beefed up, and then did you have to go through a bit of a transformation to adapt to the role of Conan? And if so, can you talk a bit about that and